Guys, I lied to you. Okay, not actually, but I have a bunch of stuff to admit about the last video. But before that, I want to keep this quick and thank everybody for the insane amount of support from last video, and thank you to everybody who stuck around to see this video. I think it's pretty neat. I also wanted to reiterate some of the rules and answer some of the questions that came out from the last video. Shark Jung Lee, you know these aren't actually furries, right? Yes, I do! What the heck? Where did I even say that? I'm using furry as an adjective, not a noun. It says it in the rule description. I wrote it out. They have fur. The requirement wasn't that they were furries, it's that the animal they represent have fur. That means they're furry. That leads me on to the second thing. New Bullet will never be allowed in this challenge. I've always seen dragons as reptiles, and Sarah and Sanyun don't count either, because they're birds. Shark Jung Lee, can you do my dragon spine? I'm sorry, but I cannot. I actually have to become a member of society now, which limits my time given for dragon spine maxing. I'm also slightly changing the rules. Originally, one imposter character was allowed per team, which still holds true in the rules. Characters with summons like Sengling and Yao Yao were counted as an imposter, therefore limited to one per team. But I will be changing this so that there can be any amount of summon characters in a team, but I cannot use any of their skills if it does not involve said summon. For example, I cannot use Shangling's burst, but I can use Yao Yao's since both her skill and burst involve Yuegui. I have been doing this already, but I thought it was worth mentioning as a disclaimer. Now that that's out of the way, it's time for the confession. I did the Spiral Abyss a while ago, like before I got Gaming and Yaimiko. I didn't say anything because I didn't get really far and I wanted to save it for this episode anyway. I hadn't previously unlocked the Spiral Abyss, so I had to do that first. This reminds me of the time when I was playing with my friend and we were heading to that island with the Spiral Abyss, and I didn't know that you could teleport using the Spiral Abyss icon. I teleported to Cape Oath, but my friend didn't, and I was like, well, where are you going? And they were like, idiot, just teleport. And I was like manually teleporting using the portal every single time, and I was embarrassed. The worst part is that they barely even play the game, like they don't even have Rito escape plan done. It's crazy. Anyway, I hope that was enough side gameplay with story time for you. I only went up to floor 4 because I didn't have enough characters for a second team. The only memorable thing that happened was actually on floor 4. I went through the past floors perfectly fine, but I could not seem to get 3 stars in Chamber 1, floor 4. From up until then, I was using the same team, Sucrose, Diona, Sangling, and Lynette. I realized I had to find another way. Reminder, this was at the time where I could only use one imposter without Tignari, so I decided to switch Sangling for Yao Yao for the Dendro application. It worked so well, I was so shocked even with my very not good energy recharge runner, I was able to complete floor 4 first try. Finishing the Abyss gave me Sangling Khan and a Kali, which is cool, but I'm totally not going to use them. Now on to the current day stuff. Getting Yaimiko meant that I could do anything that previously required me to have Electro character. This meant I could finish Lisa's story quest and the Cemetery Seal quest. By the way, I lied last episode when I said I maxed out the Statue of 7 in Mondstadt. I totally forgot about this, but it's maxed out now, so you don't have to worry. In this episode, unfortunately, I am not going to Inazuma because I wanted to take this a little slower than I did last episode. But I needed somebody to use. Somebody cool. Someone brought up in the last episode, they were like, hey, Shark Jung Lee, why did you get Gaming instead of Yanfei? And you know what, I'm gonna be honest guys, I completely forgot about Yanfei. It's super embarrassing, but it's okay. I was just really excited to use a new character. I never learned how to use them correctly, and I won't, but that's okay, cause look at this sick showcase. I'm using the Icky Green Claymore on him because I'm running him with Yaimiko and bonus damage against enemies affected by Electro, yay! But wait, Shark-Chun-Li, why did you ban Tignari but you're using Yaimiko? They're both powerful 5 stars. I'm glad you asked. It's because Yaimiko's Ascension materials are restricted behind Inazuma's, so she will be underleveled for a while. But wait guys, a new banner, a geopatch. And oh my goodness gracious, who is that? Is that a furry friend? Guys, it's a furry friend. I won't even get into how miserable the 820 days I tried getting Goro was. I spent hundreds of wishes on the standard banner for him. I even got Jean on the last banner trying to get him, like on pity. It was not fun. I thought that was it. I thought my reign of bad Goro luck was over, but it wasn't. Although I can use E2 as per the challenge rules, I didn't want to use him for this, so I didn't. This means we don't have access to a Geo character, and I can't unlock the Crimson Witch domain, and there's other stuff that's probably locked too, but I haven't really come across that, so it doesn't matter right now. I haven't really talked about the events that I do on this account, mostly because they don't matter, and they're not really interesting if it's not live commentated. But guys, this event was so fun, and it doesn't even matter that it took me like a bunch of hours, because it was so fun. I've never had this much fun doing a non-combat event. I was happy seeing 2 of my favorite characters interact. It was so cool and silly, and look at them. After this, I embarked on my journey to finish a bunch of interlude quests, beginning with the Dainsleep quest, because I actually did the first Dainsleep quest a while ago. Don't ask me where the footage is for it, I swear to god I recorded it though. All I have to say about it though is it reminded me of the time when I did it. We were in Wolvendom, and Dainsleep was like, yo, there's a wolf here. But at the time, I had refused to do Razor's story quest, so I thought that the fact that Andreas didn't show up was my fault. So I posted about it, and then somebody screenshotted it and sent it to a Genshin Struggles Twitter page, in which they posted it, and everybody got mad at me. Anyway, I really love the We Will Be Reunited quest so much, especially when playing Aether, because I'm so in love with Abyss Lumine. I love the whole upside down statue thing. I just wish they weren't like, yeah, they're gonna revive Osiel using the Eye of the First Field Teller and then not elaborate for 3 years? Like, it was such a good idea. Why did they leave us, and where is my 2024 Dainsleep quest, guys? When I first did this quest, the Ruin Hunter ate me up, but Gaming Hardcore carried me this time. Also, was I the only one who thought that the Unknown God and Sonora were the same person? It made me really confused doing this quest at first, because I was like, what do you mean the Unknown God? She literally had her own intro, name, and everything. We save our fellow furry friend and say goodbye to Dainsleep's ex-wife. You know, at first I was like, man, I wish they had a traveler experience something like how they reacted when Signora died. Then I realized when Paimon's talking to the traveler after getting straight up neglected by their sibling, it was in first person for a second, which I actually thought was a pretty cool detail. Anyway, I admired this domain for the last time and ventured off to the Liyue Archon quest. The crane returns on the wind. I don't have much to say. My game is set to Chinese, so I didn't get to experience the funny, intense voice acting, but that's okay. You know, I actually used to hate Shenhe. She was definitely my least favorite character, but that was for no reason. I actually really like her now. She's very beautiful, and her character is so funny, especially in the recent Lanterite quest. We watched the Traveler totally embarrass himself, and I don't know why he did that. Actually, what did he think he was gonna do? And what did Ganyu think she was gonna do? I think Osiel having a wife was super random too, but it's okay, it's not really anything I hate. I finished the quest and realized that you get the Yaimiko boss material from finishing the quest, which is pretty cool. I didn't realize they looked ahead like that. Now when we get to Inazuma, I'll be able to ascend her once. I stopped my quest grind to do some reputation farming because I needed 2 things. Fragile Resin, since I'm not very active on Genshin at the moment, and the Windcatcher, since currently we don't have any character that can help us get to the Tall Geoculus at the moment. And that I did. I finished Klee and Jean's story quests because they were the only ones I could do. I found a lot of enjoyment in replaying some of these quests because I just haven't replayed them ever. I remember thinking Klee's story quest was a part of the Midsummer Island event and being upset because I had to finally do the Razor quest and I was already AR 45 at this point. I wasn't planning on adding a lot to Jean's story quest, but holy dude. First of all, I couldn't find that godforsaken cat, and then this corny abyss mage comes out of nowhere. And why is Jean's story quest set up like an ad? None of the other ones are like this. Oh my god, they said the thing. They said it again. And with that, I was done. I did Singju's story quest too, but there was literally nothing important or memorable about it other than this absolute nerd. I accidentally started the teapot quest too. Nothing happened. To be honest, I don't know why I decided to do the chasm quest. I didn't want to 100% it or anything like I did with Dragonspine, but at least I'll be ready for the chasm interlude quest. I really love the chasm. The only bad part about it is how dark it gets sometimes, but it's really not that bad. The area is so gorgeous, and it's kind of upsetting. Out of everything I managed to record for this episode, I lost the footage of the chasm after finding Conriette and the Celestial Remains. Like, those areas are so gorgeous, and I only have screenshots. I love all the little quests, and each little region of the underground chasm has its own charm. Like the mushroom, and the final area, and the roots of the tree, and whatever this area is, and this guy's funny name. I feel like nobody talks about the cool Conria hints we get too. The purple words that you can only investigate with the Lumen Spire, and the Knight's dialogue when you walk up to them to defeat them. I mean, like, some of them are pretty corny, but I bet it goes super hard in Chinese. While writing the script, I started going down the rabbit hole of Conria lore and the underground chasm. It's really good, guys. I love the chasm. I love Conria. And finally, in preparation for the next episode, I started farming for Tignar. I didn't have a lot of Sumeria explored, and I didn't really want to explore, so I was like, hey, why don't I just join other people's worlds? Okay. English isn't gonna cut it. I need to broaden my search. I actually found that Spanish-speaking people accept my join request way more than English-speaking people do. And I don't really request any other language because I can't speak anything else. Despite 6 years of Spanish courses, I am actually not fluent in Spanish at all, so I get afraid to speak to native speakers. Then usually I understand what they say and I'm like, oh, I'm not that bad. Except this guy. This guy was slightly advanced than what I know, but it's okay, it was all just really friendly introduction stuff. I joined this person's world who was an absolute beginner, and then my keyboard stopped working and I felt so bad because they asked a question and I could never respond and then they never let me back in their world. Then I met this really joyous person. I took them to Heart Island, which I feel a little guilty about because what if in the future they find someone better they should have done it with? And with that concludes the second episode of the Furry Friends Only Challenge. Oh gosh, wait, what is this? Birthday party! Pass. She kind of looks like Mercy from Overwatch, I think.
Just say
pass!
Smash! Holy sh**.
And that is all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm really happy I'm able to continue this challenge. Thank you again. Love you guys. Bye!